This clip is about long multiplication, including using decimals. So your question might look a little bit like this. 5.42 multiplied by 7.3. Now we're going to use a grid method to try and solve this question. Now because I've got a 3-digit number multiplied by a 2-digit number, I'm going to need to draw a 3 by 2 box or grid that looks like this. I'm going to put my 3-digit number along the top, like this. Then I'm going to put my 2-digit number down the side. Now before I start to fill my grid, I need to divide the boxes up. I'm going to divide them diagonally so that I can split the tens from the units. Now I'm ready to start multiplying. So the first box, I'm going to multiply 2 and 7. So 2 times 7 is 14. Now to record this, I'm going to put my 1 in the top bit and my 4 in the lower bit. 1 10 and 4 units. The next box, I'm going to multiply 4 and 7. So 4 times 7 is 28. And again, I'm going to put the 2 in the tens section and the 8 in the unit section. The last box on the top row, I'm going to do 5 times 7, which is 35. 3 tens and 5 units. My second row, I'm going to fill in exactly the same way. So the first box would be 2 times 3. Now 2 times 3 is 6. That's no tens but 6 units. So I'm going to complete it like this. No tens, 6 units. Next I'm going to multiply 4 by 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. And lastly, 5 times 3, which is 15. And that completes my grid. The next thing I need to do is to multiply the diagonals. So my first diagonal here just has 6 in it. So I'll put 6 at the bottom. My next diagonal, I'm going to add the 4, the 0 and the 2, which also gives me 6. And I'll put 6 underneath. In this column, I've got 8, add 1, add 1, add 5, which gives me 15. Now, just like I would do with normal column addition, I'm going to record the 5, but carry the 1. In this column, I've got a 2, a 5 and a 1. That gives me 8. Plus the one that I carried, which gives me a total of 9. And finally, in my last diagonal column, I've got 3. This means that my total is 39566. Now, if we go back to the original question, you'll remember that my original question had some decimals in it, and we need to decide where the decimals will go in the answer. My first number, 5.42, had the decimal between the 5 and the 4. So I'm going to put the decimal back in the question between the 5 and the 4. There. My second number, 7.3, had the decimal point between the 7 and the 3. So again, I'm going to put the decimal point back in. So now what do? This is the bit that I call crash and slide, because we're going to take the 2 decimal points, crash them together and slide down the diagonal. Crash and slide. So my 2 decimal points have come together, crash, slide down the diagonal, which means that my decimal point has ended up between the 9 and the 5. So my final answer is actually 39.566. And that is how you do long multiplication using the grid method.